Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Brighton and Hove Albion deny trying to sign Nuno Tavares. According to The Athletic, Brighton have strongly dismissed claims that they are interested in signing Arsenal's Nuno Tavares. It has been previously reported that Brighton had opened talks with the Portuguese fullback, but according to The Athletic, a well-placed source has denied this. Tavares' short-term future at Arsenal has been widely discussed this summer, with reports also suggesting that Atalanta are confident of signing the 22-year-old. However, the Serie A side want an option to buy included in the deal. The Athletic report that the Brighton are interested in signing a left-back this summer, with current first-choice Marco Kurella heavily linked with a move to Manchester City. After joining from Benfica last summer, in a deal worth £7 million, Tavares has played second fiddle to Kieran Tierney in the Arsenal squad, but has struggled at times to adapt to the step up to Premier League football. He was given a run of 7 league games to prove himself in Mikel Arteta's side in October last year, being described as very gifted by his manager at the time, but back-to-back defeats to Man United and Everton saw Tavares lose his starting spot. An injury to the Scottish defender at the end of the season meant Tavares played 8 of the last 10 games of the season, as Arsenal were unable to secure Champions League football. However, the signing of Man City's Alexander Zinchenko, who played primarily as a left-sided defender under Pep Guardiola, could limit Tavares' game time even further, and so a temporary move elsewhere may be the best option for him this season. Atalanta would probably be his next destination. Arsenal and Fulham come closer to striking deal for Bernd Leno. According to English news outlet The Evening Standard, Arsenal have lowered their asking price for Bernd Leno. Fulham are the only club in Europe that has shown interest in the Gunners' German shot stopper. After weeks of negotiation, it now seems that both the London clubs are close to reaching an agreement. The fee that is being quoted is £8 million, lower than what the North London outfit would have hoped to generate. After barely playing last season and the recent acquisition of Matt Turner, all the stars aligned to Leno departing the Emirates Stadium 4 years after making a big money move from Bayer Leverkusen. Leno is thought to be very open to move to Fulham, as he's keen to stay in London and continue playing in the Premier League. With the World Cup fast approaching, it's only natural that the 30-year-old wants a fresh start somewhere sooner rather than later. The German has been a robust signing for Arsenal, as he has kept 37 clean sheets for Arsenal in 125 appearances. The only reason we are talking about his exit is majorly due to his inability to play out from the back, which resulted in the club splashing the cash on Englishman Aaron Ramsdale last summer. If we only talk about shot-stopping skills, the former Leverkusen man is definitely one of the best in the league. Arsenal opened talks to offload out of favour player. Arsenal has opened talks with the Turkish club Fenerbahce over selling Pablo Mari on a permanent transfer. The Spanish defender spent the second half of last season on loan at Udinese in the Italian top flight. We expected him to join them permanently because of how impressive he was on their books. However, that hasn't been the case, and he's back with Arsenal now training with the rest of their squad. William Saliba has returned to the club from his loan spell at Olympique Marseille, and the Frenchman is ahead of him on the pecking order at the Emirates. This means his best option is to leave, and a report on The Sun claims Werner has an interest in him. They hope they can find an agreement with Arsenal in this window and add him to their squad. Mari is not a bad defender, and his only problem is that he is not the favourite among our options. The defender can thrive in another European league, and he will certainly do well in Turkey, but Werner must be prepared to pay our valuation. If they cannot, we can wait for another suitor with better financial resources to come and sign him up. Gabriel, a surprise leader amongst Arsenal squad. Gabriel Magalhaes showed himself to be something of a surprise leader amongst the Arsenal squad during their pre-season tour of America, with The Athletic reporting that he could be seen coaching the defense from the touchline in one of the games. Mikel Arteta, of course, is working with a young squad, and one of the issues he needs to address this summer, who's going to become the new captain at the Emirates. Obviously, Martin Odegaard is in pole position to take the armband, but it says a lot about the squad Arsenal have put together that there are other candidates, and Gabriel is one who would likely get plenty of support from the fans. The centre-back has been an inspired signing for the Gunners, and he leads by example out on the pitch, and it seems that he's looking to take on more responsibility. The Athletic listed some of the big characters who emerged during Arsenal's pre-season tour, and Gabriel is one name mentioned. It's noted that it's a surprise to see the 24-year-old be so prominent in that sense because of the language barrier. However, that did not stop the former Lille man coaching the backline from the side during their clash with Orlando City. Mikel Arteta will love to see Gabriel take on that responsibility. He appears to be the leader at the back, having still shown in a back five full of impressive performers last season. Gabriel is one player Arsenal can build their team around in the coming years. He has the potential to be a huge player for the Gunners and the spine of the side. It would be a surprise if he was named captain, but clearly he does not need the armband to take on the role of a leader. Arsenal very interested in Cody Gakpo once again. Arsenal are once again very interested in signing Cody Gakpo, but may have to wait until the final stages of the window to sign the PSV Eindhoven star, according to a report from Dutch outlet 6. Gakpo is a player who Arsenal fans have known about for a few months now. Reports in May claimed that the 23-year-old was their top target ahead of what threatened to be another massive summer for Edu and Mikel Arteta. Of course, much has been done since. However, no move for Gakpo has taken place, and it did seem that the links had gone fairly quiet, but he's very much still on the radar. According to a report from 6, Arsenal remain very interested in Gakpo. However, a move for the forward is only likely to take place towards the end of the window. PSV face Monaco in the third qualifying round of the Champions League, and obviously they will hope to have a playoff tie to look forward to also, and they want to keep Gakpo for those games. That is not the only hurdle Arsenal need to clear. Reports on Monday noted that £34 million will no longer be enough to sign Gakpo. PSV now want a gigantic fee for the Netherlands international, given how close the new season is. Arsenal are in a strong position when it comes to Gakpo. If a deal is possible, he could be an outstanding addition for the Gunners after a campaign in which he scored 21 goals and 15 assists. But Mikel Arteta's side have already enjoyed a very good window, and they do have a lot of depth in the final third. So if a deal for Gakpo is not possible, the Gunners do not need to panic. But judging by the latest reports, it certainly seems to be one situation to keep an eye on in the coming weeks. Youri Tielemans' transfer delay is due to one Arsenal concern. Arsenal are reportedly yet to make a transfer bid for Leicester City midfielder Youri Tielemans due to concerns over the player's physicality. The Belgium international has been a star player for Leicester in recent years, and it makes sense that he'd be on the radar of Arsenal and other big clubs this summer, particularly as he's nearing the end of his contract at the King Power Stadium. Tielemans will be a free agent in a year's time, so could surely be a bargain signing for top clubs this summer, so it's slightly surprising to see an apparent lack of suitors for the 25-year-old. Arsenal apparently have one concern, and that's relating to the player's physicality, according to a report from TalkSport. This seems rather surprising, as Tielemans has shown he's perfectly capable of competing in the Premier League, so could surely do a job for Arsenal in a position they are not exactly that strong anyway. Gunners will hope their club doesn't deter for too much longer, or they surely risk missing out on a top talent in what could be a very affordable deal. Journalist shares what he's just been told by Lucas Paqueta's agent amid interest from Arsenal. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move for Lyon midfielder Lucas Paqueta this summer, and journalist Freddie Paxton has spoken on the Fresh Arsenal show about a conversation he had with the player's agent. The Gunners have been busy adding to Mikel Arteta's squad this summer, as they have signed 5 players already. And it seems they aren't done just yet, as Arsenal reportedly hold an interest in Paqueta and have spoken to his agent. In the most recent update on the club's pursuit of the 24-year-old, the player's agent is apparently playing a waiting game. Speaking on the Fresh Arsenal show, Freddie Paxton says he spoke to Paqueta's agent recently and he's waiting for things to fall into place. Paxton said, "I think he's a player they admire, like many players. He's probably one of the names on the list which doesn't always materialize. Arsenal sent scouts to watch Paqueta last season. I spoke to his agent very recently, and a bit like Tielemans, it's a bit of a waiting game for them. They are waiting for some dominoes to fall." Despite Paqueta's agent waiting for other moves to happen in the transfer market, Paxton says Arsenal face competition if they eventually move for the Brazilian. Arsenal aren't the only club that are interested, and Arsenal probably have a couple of names on their list in case one falls through, he added. "I think Paqueta is a possibility because he is a player they like and he's acquirable. We are not going to be priced out of a move, but if you were to ask me if we were to end up with Tielemans or Paqueta, I think Tielemans is the more likely of the two. It seems that Mikel Arteta is keen to bring in another midfielder, and Leicester's Youri Tielemans could also end up at the Emirates. Whether it's one or the other for Arsenal remains to be seen, but the club have two great options in Paqueta and Tielemans. Both would add some well-needed depth in Arsenal's midfield while pushing for a place in Arteta's side. Arsenal, the side most interested in Arthur as talks continue. Arsenal are the side most interested in signing Arthur Melo, with talks with Juventus over the midfielder's future still ongoing, according to a report from Mondo Deportivo. Arthur looks set to leave Juve in the coming weeks. He was not involved in their pre-season tour to the United States in the hope that it would accelerate a move away from Turin. And surprisingly, Arsenal have been heavily linked. Reports last week claimed that the Gunners were ready to make a bid for the Brazilian, but they do face competition for his signature. Mondo Deportivo reports that Roma were contenders to sign the 25-year-old. Meanwhile, his former club, Grêmio, are also keen on a deal. However, Mondo Deportivo claims that Arsenal are on pole position to sign Arthur. They are the side most interested in a deal, and talks are ongoing. Arsenal go into the final weeks of the transfer window in a strong position in the market. They have strengthened it in a number of areas with several outstanding additions. If the window shut today, the Gunners would arguably be in much better position than most in the Premier League. Obviously, the supporters will hope for more additions. Arsenal will battle on four fronts this coming years, and the Europa League certainly seems to take a greater toll on squads than other competitions, but they do not need to panic buy, and with that, Arsenal do not need to do anything silly when it comes to their pursuit of Arthur. Reports have suggested that Juve would consider a loan with a £25.6 million option to buy. That would arguably be a very good deal for Arsenal. They are currently at the front of the queue, so it will be interesting to see if they capitalize it. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.